Hello, hello, and welcome back for a literary tour de force as Perfidious Pete plays XCOM: The Long War. Or at least I'm assuming it will be a literary tour de force after what Jules Verne did last mission. Now, normally I hate Rocketeers with the focus and clarity commonly reserved for a college student studying for finals while doped to the gills on Adderall, but damn me if the father of science fiction didn't take me on a journey to the center of some well-kicked ass last time out. Jules' premiere mission was the biggest debut since Chris Pratt and his Raptor bros saddled up and rode out to conquer the Jurassic world. No pun intended here, but Jules Verne's performance really did blow me away. Unlike Bryce Dallas Howard, who I have to say should spend maybe a little more time hanging out with her dad, or shit, maybe even her uncle. Couldn't hurt. And in less interesting, I suppose, non-literary powerhouse-related news, the only other item really sort of noteworthy that happened on our last trip is that Sir Isaac Newton wound up relegated to the infirmary. Yeah, he's going to be in there for, the next 24 days, but I'm not entirely certain Sir Isaac Newton is actually injured. I think maybe he's just faking to have an excuse to avoid Steve Jobs' attorneys, who are still pursuing their trademark infringement case against him for his Apple nickname. But all I can say about that is, better Isaac Newton than me, and well played, Sir Isaac, by the way, seeking sanctuary in a hospital. Clever ploy, clever ploy. Sometimes discretion truly is the better part of valor, Sir Isaac. And I think I'm going to mimic your tactics and lay low myself by slipping up to mission control and see if we can maybe find a mission that'll get me the hell out of the command center and away from Steve Jobs. That guy's fucking lawyers could chew the flesh off of a cow faster than a school of piranhas. I mean, they will skeletonize you if they get you in the courtroom. This is interesting. 2 scientists and 2 engineers. We don't really need engineers. I could use the scientists. We have 50 engineers. I think that's probably all we're ever going to need, other than the ones we might pick up passively at the end of a month. Flight computers, however, we are going to still need some more of, so I'm going to say no to this one. Sorry, India, too little too late. Had you come in with that about a week ago, probably would have been forced to say yes. Damn. Alright, I was hoping we might get a couple troopers coming out of the side tube just to see how they did. No dice here. We have a small scout low over France. We should have no real difficulty bringing this down, and I think this is probably a fine time to see if Midas Okamura here has what it takes to run with the big boys. Does he have that golden touch? Let's hope not, because that'll be unfortunate. How the hell are you supposed to masturbate? I mean, it's going to be way less pleasurable jerking it after you've turned your dong to gold.
Target now.
I mean, it just, from a practical standpoint, really the whole King Midas thing. You know, it'd have its uses, sure. I mean, the gold would be nice, but it's going to be tough to jerk it. It's going to be tough to jerk it. Alright, so a splash. Honestly, we kind of would have preferred to have the mission there. We could use the salvage, but you know what? The side training, it'll give us a chance to get some side training done. Midas Okamura got a kill, took no damage in the process, so really, we can't complain. His touch does seem golden enough, so, maybe stay away from your wiener, or I don't know, go southpaw at it, maybe do a little left-handed jerk. It's not really quite the same as pulling off a stranger, but it's definitely got a different sort of feel to it. Alright, let's see how we did. Alright, so Marie Antoinette succeeded, whereas Elvis Presley has failed. It's alright. So let's, you know what? Let's take a look at our list. I'm thinking we're probably just going to stick Elvis right back in the chamber. Yeah, we have Jesus Ace Christ and Joseph the Cleaner Lister both on hand. So Elvis, the king has not left the building, and get your ass back in the tube and don't come back out of there until you're done, damn it. You stay in there. I'm going to put you in there. You're nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. You're going to have the jailhouse blues, you spend so much time in that tube. Who else do we want to put in? We do have an empty spot, and we should definitely not let it remain empty. We should put somebody in there. Machiavelli actually would not be shameful. Simone de Beauvoir would also be good. How are we doing on... You know what? Yeah. Let's send in Simone. I like it. We're going to send Simone in, see if we can get her a little mind fray. That's good. That'll be a good upgrade for Little Don't Cry. And she can mind fray to try and prevent you from crying. I mean, if you're having tears, she will control your mind and make you stop. She really can't abide crying or tears or weeping. All right, Louis, that's, well, it's unfortunate is what it is, but you know what they say. If at first you don't succeed, try again, and that's exactly what you're going to be doing, sir. Get your ass back in a fucking tube, Louis Anthrax Pasteur. And I'm telling you what, you better succeed this time, or next time I'm actually going to throw some anthrax in the tube with you, and we'll see which one happens first, whether you learn a psychic power, or whether you, die of a horrible bacterial infection. Japan wants 30 alloys for 300 credits. I can't really say no to that. We're a little low on alloys, but it's just too much cash. I gotta go with a yes on that one. Super Sky Ranger? I was hoping we'd get to Super Sky Ranger in. Another small UFO low over France. You know what? Midas Okamura had the golden touch last time. Let's see if he can keep it going. Is he going for the left-handed, sort of the reverse European grip style stroke? Or is he gonna completely screw up Touch's dong with his magic golden hand and never enjoy any kind of sexual release again?
Closing on target.
I'm hoping for the former, but it's looking like maybe Midas Okamura here. You have not hit this thing. One fucking hit, huh, Midas? Alright, clearly you have grasped the dong with the wrong hand, and I gotta say, that was pretty poorly done. Let's see if the monk can meditate his way to a victory here. Alright, Monk Kamini, what do you got? I mean, you're a neurotic detective in San Francisco whose assistant basically takes care of you because you're a giant child, and Randy Newman sang your theme song, which is really not good for English. It's a jungle out, yeah. So I'm told. Wouldn't really know cause I'm Randy. Another splash. Again, you know what? I'll take it. That's fine. This gives us opportunities to train Super Sky Ranger. We're getting some time past. The splash is not necessarily a deal breaker, and I think our covert operation then's probably going to be our next mission. Super Sky Ranger project is complete. That's good. We're getting ever closer to the Gauss weapons, so I don't mind the boys getting a few splashes here and chewing up some time. All right, well, this is going to be a mission, and there's nothing we can do about it. I don't even think we want to necessarily scramble interceptors here. We'll go wave at it. Monk, go say hi. Maybe hand them a wet wipe because you're a germaphobe, and I have to assume that these aliens are just bristling, crawling, and swimming with various and sundry extraterrestrial microbiological organisms. So, you know, there's that. Go ahead and land if you would then, Kraft. Alright, so we've got some abductions on the ground in France.
We have multiple reports of new abductions in progress.
In Nice.
The locations are marked on the hologlobe.
I think it's Nice. I will say, these guys are lucky that the Emperor is otherwise occupied, or he'd be out there handing them their asses in a sack. So we have an abduction mission with light alien activity. That's fine. Should not be much of a problem, really, for us. Let's see what we can do about a team. So we got Van Dorn. He's ready. Edgar Allan. You know what? I think the loot... Yeah. Yep, I like this. Edgar Allan Poe is going to be leading this mission, mostly because it's absolutely going to level him. I do like Autish, Mr. No One. He's ready, willing, and able. Let's give him some phalanx armor, a laser rifle, just a scope and a laser sight. Nothing fancy for Edgar Allan Poe. My fucking button is gone. Alright, I can tell this mission is going to be, it's going to be salt-inducing. I can already tell. The salt is going to be flowing freely on this one. It's going to be pouring out like the rock that's been shattered that produces salt. I don't know where the hell I was going with that metaphor. I lost it halfway through. For a second, I had like the idea of a metaphor that might have been a little amusing, and then it just fucking fell out of my head. Like the words that are just tumbling out of my mouth willy-nilly now. You should just start ignoring me at the moment. Just don't pay attention to me talking for like the next 5 minutes or so. We could take the Baker. Non-zero chance she levels, although it is pretty unlikely, but it does give us an opportunity to put the Baker in the mix, and also more Psychic EXP is good EXP. I think we do this. And again, light resistance on an abduction mission. We should be in pretty good shape. We're going to leave her with the Gatling laser. We'll go emplacement build. So it's a scope and a laser sight. That's got the Baker in the kitchen with the yeast ready to see if the dough will rise. Snipers. I would like to take a sniper, but not necessarily one of our grade A premier snipers. I think on this mission we can probably get away with, like, say, a William Blake. Non-zero chance that William Blake actually levels out of this as well, assuming he can get a kill or two. Now, we can't go full-on complete rookie meta. That would be not a great idea. But we're going to go scope, alloy, bipod, kestrel armor, laser sniper rifle. William Blake ready to deliver a little fearful symmetry to our enemies. Break the chains of Urzian and whatnot. We definitely need a scout, and probably a pretty good one. Thomas Everest Edison is actually looking okay. You know, Ava, don't cry Perone. Well, didn't we put you in the tube, Ava Perone? Or am I insane? I thought did I not just put you in the tube? Hold on a second. I put Ava Perone in the tube. I'm pretty sure I put her in the tube. I put Simone de Beauvoir in the tube. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Sorry. I made Ava Perone jokes about Yeah, well, I'm dumb. Clearly, also, I can't read. So just ignore my illiteracy, and instead, as a consolation prize, let's take Ava Don't Cry Perone on the mission then. So, Ava, phalanx armor for you, I think. Laser strike rifle is fine. Battle scanner, ceramic plating. Let's get the old Miss Perone ready to save some of the locals from a horrible, horrible fate. We should probably be mindful of captures on this one. I'm thinking the French maid. The Maid of Orléans. We gotta send her home. I mean, this is defending France. We can't not send Joan of Arc here to defend the French homeland. This is her one bit, folks. I mean, this is what Joan of Arc does. This is her thing. Man, Joan of Arc, you got a lot of health. In Carapace armor, I think we can probably afford to forego the ceramic plating for you. So we're gonna give you an arc thrower. And then breaching ammo, in case we get a little close range, close encounter with a berserker. Last time we took breaching ammo, it actually did a fine turn for us. We did run into berserkers, and we're well prepared for them thanks to the breaching ammo. An engineer is a must here. We could probably get away with a lower rank engineer if we need to, which is good, because I think we have a couple... We got a couple newbies here. We got Elizabeth Tudor, who has been on one other mission, did a fine job. Also Specialist Gertrude Stein. I think we are taking Gertrude. Taking, loving, touching, throwing, grenading, exploding. Gertrude Stein, all about the present tense. Alright, let's get this sorted, Gertrude. We're going to give you some phalanx armor. Help with your foot speed. Laser rifle is good for you. And then we're just going to load you up with grenades. Alien grenades. Loading, grenading, filling, pockets. Loving, touching, Specialist Gertrude Stein. Alright, so we got 2 open slots here. I want another assault trooper. I want a fast assault trooper, but I would prefer that they be somewhat lower rank. So that means probably Ayn Rand, I guess. I don't like it any more than you do. I assure you. I hate Ayn Rand. That may be the one impression I do that's even remotely accurate. I can do a pretty damn good impression of Francis from Left 4 Dead. I hate Ayn Rand. And hospitals. And doctors and lawyers and cops. I do a pretty good Francis. You know what I don't hate? I don't hate vests. So that's literally the one thing, by the way. Alright, so let's, do we want to take a rookie? You know, our rookies really have been holding it down. So much so lately that I don't really have a whole lot of reservations about taking them. Yeah, let's take Chow Tang here. Alright, Tang. Let's see what you got there. Oh, man, that's a kind of an unfortunate last name for a female trooper. I mean, I'm sure it's a common surname in Chinese, and there's just no connotations applied, but... I mean, you know, I speak English, and Tang has some... Go get him there, Tang. Let's go grab us some Tang. It has, you know, some negative connotations, and I gotta say, it makes me a little uncomfortable. So I'm just gonna call you Chow. If that's cool. Shao? I'm gonna call you Shao. Because I don't like using your surname, Tang.
Dropship has arrived.
It gives me a little tingle in the naughty place. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing.
France is sending an urgent mission request. We've gotten several reports indicating that the aliens have stepped up
as
the
long
number
as we
of
don't
attempted
come in the
abductions.
death hole
We'll have to
over
move quickly
behind
if we want
the
to slow
corner
the
over
spread of
here by the
panic.
bus, we should be okay. Operation Spectral Mountain, as long as we don't come in there, we may be okay. If we come in there, I'm thinking we're in serious trouble. Now, resistance on this is light, so if we're looking at really powerful units, we're looking at a worst one. Probably like 1 cyber disc might be the worst thing we could come in with, and we came in a pretty good spot. Okay, we'll be fine. We did not come in the death hole, and as long as we do not come in the death hole, I'm okay with that. So first things first, motion tracker, we have a pod that is right there waiting. Like Richard Marx, it's going to be right there waiting for you. Everywhere you go, everything you do. All right, Chow Tang, your defense is not fantastic, and you are a rookie. Also, you've kind of done your job, Chow Tang. Let's get William Blake to fall back. There is really, unfortunately, no place we can move William Blake to get good advantage. So let's spawn the pod then. We'll have the French maid. She did not trigger it. Very interesting. I would not have expected that. Alright, well, we need to know how much closer we can get then. So where's Tang? Where my Tang at? Yo, see, that just sounds filthy. Alright, Tang, let's get you over here in full cover. And, oh, we have multiple pods. We got another pod over here. So we have a 2-man pod that's got to be, like, right here. And then we have what appears to be a larger pod over in this area. Okay, so let's set up and try and engage this pod on the right before we worry too much about those guys in front. We'll let them react.
Moving to Overwatch.
So you go ahead and steady that weapon for us, William Blake. We're going to get Blake a little fire support from the Baker. This might pop him, actually. Okay, good. We don't want to go any further forward than that. We're actually already taking more chances than I'm kind of comfortable with. Bring Gertrude Stein forward. This should be safe-ish, I guess. Don't. Okay, whew. That was a little tense. I'm not afraid or ashamed to admit that I may have just pooped myself a little bit there. I mean, just a little bit, just like a little turtle head poking out of the shell there. Wasn't a full-on drop of dukes, but it's, you know, I'm not proud of it. Alright, so it's Overwatch then. We gotta Overwatch the Tang, man. Make sure nobody hones in on our Tang, because that Tang belongs to us. Man, I gotta stop myself. I'm out of control. It's making me uncomfortable, and I can't even not do it. Alright, so Ayn Rand, let's get you over here. That did not pop the pod, huh? Interesting. I mean, I'm assuming they're still over there. Tang, can you confirm? Tang confirms. Alright, so Ava Peron's just... We'll try and activate him with the battle scanner, then. This should reveal whatever this is. They're in this region. I mean, we know they're right there. Okay, just a couple floaters. We can deal with this pretty easily, actually. Alright, so we got the floaters. Marie Antoinette Baker has a shot. One not particularly fantastic shot. I'm still going to take it because it's the best Baker can do. It's also good enough to drill one of them right in the fucking head. So I'm well pleased with that. One of them is staying out in the open on Overwatch. Gertrude Stein does have a shot. We don't worry about Autiche so much. Let's see what our little sniper friend can do. William, that guy's a lot of health. William Blake probably isn't going to get a kill there. Could get a kill here. This guy is on Overwatch. The Overwatch is probably more dangerous because our scout has moved. So let's take the shot with Blake. That was a huge kill. William Blake, holy crap, son. That was fantastic work. All right, Stein, where you at? Gertrude? Gertie? Can I call you Gertie? Is that okay? I mean, I know Alice Toklas sometimes called you Gertie, but you had a little more intimate relationship with Alice than I do. Also, why are you flanked? Shouldn't that be cover? Why are you flanked? I'm a little nervous about the whole she is flanked situation. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Well, probably the only way to get ourselves out of that is actually just to bring Tang forward, who is also flanked, but should in return have a very good shot. Putting my Tang at risk here, and I don't like that as a maneuver, but it's got to be done. We probably could have dug her out with Poe, now that I think about it, and the command ability.
That's affirmative.
Let's move Edgar a little more centrally towards the middle of the battle. I think Joan of Arc's going to stay right where she's at. Ayn Rand, let's get you back over here into this corner cover. Still got to keep an eye on the Tang. And no, I'm not talking about the orange-flavored drink, either. I mean, granted, that Tang is delicious. Arguably more delicious than the other, more vulgar kind of Tang, but still. We gotta keep things calm, gotta keep things safe. Tang, I need a little motion tracker here. Tang has been kind of our exploration unit. Okay, so the white square is battle scanner. That's what white square indicates.
Okay.
That's worthwhile to note.
Visual on the goods.
Okay, so we got a meld canister over there, but we also have a pod that's going to be... Let me triangulate here. So if they're there, that pod is roughly here. We're not in a shameful position vis-a-vis that pod. The question is, do we want to pop them with a battle scanner, or would we rather have Ava Peron? You know, I think the battle scanner may be the wrong way to go. Let's grab Gertrude Stein doesn't have low profile.
Heading there now.
She also didn't activate the pod.
Roger. I've got my eyes on.
Intriguing. Is this going to activate him? Yep, okay. Thin Men, we need to capture one of these bastards. Alright, so Thin Men are a problem. But we should have some squad sight shots here. At least one. We do have one from Marie. Well, Marie Antoinette Baker is out of range, but that's okay. William Blake does have one. It's not a brilliant hit percentage. I'm still going to take it. 60% is reasonable. Alright, it was worth the risk.
Adjusting sights.
Marie Antoinette Baker is going to need to shift. We got to get the Baker into some manner of cover. Move her a little closer. We're going to have her hunker down. Alright, St. Joan, I don't really like your entire situation. Let's get you to safety. I would prefer to not be able to see this guy if our choices are have vision and be in a very vulnerable spot or just not be able to see the enemy, I would prefer to err on the side of not being able to see the enemy. Let's get Autish here in a little corner cover. He's going to be on Overwatch. He's not an Overwatch unit, but he does have some benefits for being Ayn Rand. I think you're probably... No, I'm worried about what this guy might do. I think we'll have... You know what? Just hunker down, Ayn Rand. I don't want to get you shot. Hunkering down is probably the right move here. We're going to bring Ava Perón just to... Oh, she can see him. She has not a fantastic shot to hit. Probably worth the risk. Ava Perón has low profile, so she's going to be pretty difficult to hit. She did get to connect. Not to kill, but 5 damage is acceptable. I'm not sure what exploded. It sounded like a vehicle somewhere far away. Let's hope none of our troopers was near it when it exploded. They have a bad habit of doing that. Squad sight shot at Ava Perón. Yeah, that came from clear across the fucking map. Alright, so we know we have a squad sight sniper out there, and as such, since that is a thing that we can confirm for certain, we're gonna try and get a little bit closer so that we can maybe reveal him. Yeah, the Overwatch is totally expected. Ava Perón is not worried about a little bit of Overwatch. She can handle it. So we got this gentleman. You know what? 54%. You hit it once, Ava Perón. You have also hit the 1%er. More importantly, the holo targeting. Brilliantly done. Okay, good. Alright, we would like to get to this meld canister. We're not going to be able to do it in a single move. This also puts the rookie in kind of a shitty spot. We know there's a thin man over there. Is anybody... If we make a break for the meld canister... Alright, Rook. I'm asking a lot of you here, Rookie. I am, and I know that I am.
Alien object in sight.
You do not have vision on the other thin man. Intriguing. So we need good, solid sources of cover, then. Gertrude Stein is in a bit of a vulnerable position. Gertrude Stein, of course, not vulnerable woman, but she's in a vulnerable position. Gertrude Stein is actually a badass, and if you haven't read any Gertrude Stein, I highly recommend it. You can see for yourself exactly what a badass that she is. Is this full cover? It is not. You know, I'm tempted to actually... well, it's tempting, but it's probably a bad idea. That being said, it may be the best of a somewhat unpleasant situation here. Here's what we're going to do. So we're going to have Gertrude Stein come to this corner cover, and we're going to have her hunker down. I've sort of come to embrace the hunker meta. Hunkering has definite uses. That's why it's in the game. I mean, obviously. But I've become more comfortable with being willing to hunker down now and then. And then we're going to have Edgar Allan Poe command... William Blake, we should try and get you maybe in a little better spot. Bring you over here and have you study your weapon. Baker has not gotten a chance to use her Mind Fray ability yet, which is unfortunate, but she is in full cover. That car's gonna blow. He's gonna blow! Oh man, she's gonna blow right in the tang. Excuse me? Yeah, I'm a little fucking nonplussed myself, Marie Antoinette. That's fucking bullshit. Where did those guys come from exactly? This is a little bit of horse hockey. They were hiding in the bus all along. They're like the most clever thin men, sectoids rather, of all time. William Blake, please put one in that guy's eyeball. That was not his eyeball. That was in fact a windshield of a truck. You have a 44% chance, which is bad. This may be an instance where Mind Fray is the right move. There is still a goddamn thin man sniper somewhere as well. It's worthwhile to note. Edgar, I am a little disappointed in you, but your executioner ability... That's right, putting them in the ground. Okay, good. Alright, Tang. This is real risky, actually. That thin man could be on Overwatch. We're going to leave Tang in full cover, and we may have her just Overwatch as well. Gertrude, if we bring you forward, you can do some work for us with a grenade. Alright, so the only thing she can see is the sectoid. Can she hit him? Sort of. I'm going to take this, because this thing showed in red. This may be destructible cover this guy is hiding behind. If we can improve Marie Antoinette's chances at all, we should do it. We did not, in fact, improve her chances even a little bit. So we're gonna go for the Mind Fray. Poor chance on the Mind Fray as well. We did get the connect though. Interesting. All right. Joan of Arc can't really do much of anything. I think we run and gun, or rather just dash with Joan of Arc. This also is a little risky. Now remember, there is a thin man over here, and we do, if we can, still want to try and get a capture on that bastard. Ayn Rand, you're a worthless piece of garbage. And nowhere near where you need to be. Why don't you just come up here and hunker down in that full cover? You want to actually be hunkering down, of course. 35% is bad. Is this cover? It is not. Marie Antoinette is in a terrible spot. Just a terrible spot. This is the best we can do. Wow. This is gonna miss, and Marie Antoinette is probably gonna get shot. Now, the only thing we have saving for us is that guy does have a significant aim penalty from the Overwatch. Let's see what he does. He's gonna shoot over. Yeah, that's probably gonna. Wow. Okay. Mindfray getting it done. Here comes our thin friend. He's gonna get overwatched by the Tang. Oh, delicious orange-flavored beverage for everyone. Enjoy that, sir. Yeah, you know why the astronauts took that shit. He's not gonna stand there. All right, so this guy's gonna double move. Very bold, by the way. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him. I'm gonna guess not real fucking well.
Good to go.
I'm gonna reload with William Blake. Alright, so Ayn Rand and Gertrude Stein are actually in pretty good positions relatively. Eva Peron is not in a good position. Gertrude Stein, I want you to drop a grenade on this thin man, and then I want him to explode that bench. We're going for the capture on the thinny. We're gonna bring him home. Oh, Gertrude Stein, that was the perfect grenade, ma'am. It really was fucking perfection. Joan of Arc cannot get close enough, but I have a feeling we're only gonna get one attempt here. Eva Prone, you can just go ahead and reload. There's literally nothing else you can do here. Tang, what's your hit percentage? Okay, so if the capture fails, we do have Tang for backup. Tang can come in and close things out for us. So Ayn Rand, this guy's in the open. This does expose you to some unhealthy levels of aggression from a potential sectoid encounter. If you could just get the stun, though, that'd be real good. Okay.
Tell the doc we're bringing home a live one.
Beautifully done. I'll make sure and let Dr. Valen know. And clearly, Ayn Rand, I mean, she knows Dr. Valen. She knows that Dr. V is going to be real fucking excited about the fact that we're bringing home a live thing for her to torture to death and masturbate to. And there you go. Operation Spectral Mountain. A complete success. Couldn't have gone better. Capture. That one was lights out. Well done, team. Much needed EXP for some of our lower level guys, as well as a rookie who may have and probably did earn a promotion. Little Tang there, proving herself to be fantastic. I can see why everybody wants a piece of the Tang. I myself kind of want a piece of the Tang.
Not a single
And Tang did in fact get a promotion. Excellent. Alright, so Gertrude Stein promoted to Lance Corporal. A deserved promotion for Stein. It's going to be Sapper, of course, for Gertrude. Got her taken care of. Little Tang. Well, Little Tang, you have a reasonable aim and a reasonable foot speed. I think you would be a pretty respectable gunner. Now, let's consider our options. Randoming does take Rocketeer off the table. That's always a bonus. What could we possibly get? Engineer or Medic. Tang would be good as both. Good enough to forego giving up a possible quality gunner. That's interesting. We could also get an infantry or an assault. She would be sort of not great as an assault. Additionally, sort of not great as a scout. Although, you know what? I think we're better off just like going ahead and going with the gunner build. So let's take Xiao Tang here. We're gonna make her into a gunner. That's got the Tang sorted, and yeah, I'm actually, all of the times I've said Tang, I think I'm actually gonna go make a glass. Alien Carbine, Floater Corpses, Thin Man Captive, which is very nice. Illyrium Alloys, 17 meld. Out of 2 cans, that's a little unpleasant. That means the aliens are... Well, some of that meld actually probably came from our enemies. 3 of it was from floaters, so it's 7 meld a can, but that means the aliens have pulled off a harvesting mission at some point off camera. We did get 80 credits, and Panic in France is decreased, which is going to please the Emperor to know that things were well in hand while he was otherwise engaged in a covert operation. But I'm going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support does really mean a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more XCOM, consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes every day. Right now, however, I'm going to go make a glass of delicious Tang-flavored orange drink, the drink of the astronauts. I'm also going to maybe look at pictures of Tang and possibly do other unmentionable things. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe, whatnot. Right now, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.